I apologize, you all. My phone overheated and it cut off on me. Then I couldn't find the video, but nevertheless, we made it back. So I ended up having to make this a part 2, but that was not my intentions. But y'all continue to rock with me. So I left off talking about these officers and how they just act as though they're so tough because they wear these blue uniforms, and they're not even understanding that people will see you on the streets, man. I'm not speaking about all officers. I definitely want to reiterate that, because there's some cool officers, man. Some cool officers, man. They there to do their 8 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours, whatever the case may be, and get on home to their family, or go pay their bills, or their girls, or their wives, or whatever they trying to get home to. But I'm only speaking about the overbearing sons of bitches like this idiot that I described today. A whole lot of them. But then when they see you in the community, it's like, now you are seemingly in their world now, our world now. Now me, I would never do anything to a correctional officer, and I never would recommend anyone do anything. I mean, they do encourage them to carry, but you're putting yourselves in a situation treating people a certain type of way. And especially the ones that have done it for so long, like the McCrackens. They've done it for so long, so they just think I ain't nothing gonna happen. The next thing you know, you see that person at the gas station, or that person is a Uber, a DoorDasher, and they knock on your door, and voila, and this person knows where you live at. Treat people right, man. Treat people right, man, because what comes around definitely goes around. And that day, Kraken definitely got the business. Did anyone ever take or try to take your commissary while you was locked up? No. Not to say that it never could happen. I'm not ever gonna jump on here and act like I was, Billy Badass, and I'm just a stand-up dude, man. I'm stand up. If you try to take my commissary, man, we gonna throw down. May the best man win. But I'm not about to just, here you go, man. Nah, that never happened. Now, I did have a situation one time in the county jail, the same county jail that I just finished describing. Every Monday, you can do what's called a meal of the week. So if you have money, you can order meal of the week. They rotate. For the longest, they were doing the Little Caesars pizzas, $5 hot and readies. The jails would get them for like $3 because they would order so many. Charge us like $18 for them, something ridiculous, man. And so one Monday might be the hot and ready. The following Monday might be Chinese food. I've seen Columbia Steakhouse. I've seen all type of things, Subway. This particular time they were doing the Lee's famous recipe. I'm not sure if you all have Lee's famous recipe in your local city, state, town, jurisdiction. Lee's famous recipe, man. Get like 8 wings, a couple biscuits. If you want to order some sides, you can. And I had ordered this particular week. Got my order, put my box in my, my little bed area or whatever. I go back and play basketball, because like in our cells, especially if you're a trustee or something, you can hoop. So they literally have, like, the cells are so big, they hold 80 to like 100 people in the whole dorm. But the dorm is so big, you got 4 cells upstairs, then you got 4 downstairs. Then you got like a washer and dryer. They got like a laundry room. Got little tables you can sit. It's like a little indoor, they make it a track. People just walk around in circles. Spin the loop, spin the block. You got the guards tower, and there's always a guard in there 24 hours a day. And then they got these doors. Everything's see-through. Everything's glass. So they got these doors. And when you go out the door, you're on the, it's like a bullpen. It's a basketball goes. A lot of people be out there hooping, man. And I think I went to go play basketball, something like that, or kick it or whatever. Kick it with somebody. And I came back in, and a piece of my chicken was gone. I had 8 pieces. Know exactly what I had. I just bought it. Never touched the chicken. Never piece of my chicken was gone. And it was strange because everybody in the cell that I was in, like, we was all cool, man. I think it was 10 to 12 of us in there. Everybody was cool. So I'm never one to imagine, or I'm never one to imagine wasn't the right word, to make accusations, to accuse someone of doing something that I didn't see do it. So what I did was, when I came in, I ain't do all that hooping and hollering and yelling and screaming. I took my chicken, I put it on one of the tables. I said, somebody took my chicken, man, so take it now that I'm in here. Whoever was brave enough to go in my box and take my chicken, take it now. Of course, a couple of my partners, man, who did it, man, for real, man? We been outside, no, I'm not accusing nobody. Basically, they wasn't trying to say that I was accusing them. They were just trying to find out the same way I was trying to find out. But, nah, nobody's ever done that. Had somebody try to run the game on me. Had somebody not pay me when they owed me from the poker game. Didn't pay me my entire amount. But I didn't fight over that. $5 or $6. Matter of fact, the dude ended up he felt bad. The next day, he ended up bringing me the stuff that he owed me, man. I don't get into it over little stuff like that. $3, $4, $5, man. It's not worth me going to the hole for 15 days, because that's what they're going to give you. In prison is 15 days, and the county is 3. Accompanied with a write-up. Now, I'm going to go if I got to go. I'm going to go if it comes to protecting myself for over a few little dollars, man. Some little zooms, wham-whams, commissary. Nah, it's not worth it to me. Some people, though, I done seen people go all the way in over a 50-cent, pack of cookies or a ramen noodle or whatever, because they say it's about respect. It's not about the amount. For me, man, I don't care enough. You know what I mean? As long as you don't put your hands on me, as long as you don't, I just don't care enough. So, I guess in a sense, they did kind of take my commissary a little bit, even though Lee's is not commissary, it's better than commissary. So somebody definitely took a piece, and I never found out who did it. I wish I could have, though, because I was mad about that. Plus, you got to understand that they drive the prices up, so we probably paid $22, $23 for that box, for that bird. Somebody took my chicken. KENZ, what's the lowest moments you had while you was in prison, and did you ever cry? You got to understand that anytime you're in prison, incarcerated, it's a very low moment. It's a very lonely feeling. Me against the world. Sure, people will tell you, well, you got yourself in there. I understand that. You see, oftentimes when we make these egregious, not even mistakes, but dumb decisions that we tend to make in life sometimes that lands us in these predicaments, it's our fault. No one put us there. But that still doesn't mean that you're not a human being and you don't have these emotions and feelings. There's a lot of downtimes I had in prison. Like I said, every day, but some days are better than others. And then the longer that you're there, you kind of tune out the world and you just concentrate on your bid. You concentrate on getting through your time. You have women that you thought was down for you. They leave you. Not all women. Shout out to the ones that remain true with their dudes that went to jail. But you have some that you treated well. And I gotta make sure my phone don't overheat again. Hopefully I can get through this video because my phone's getting I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, you all. I'm gonna move to a different location because I feel my phone getting hot again. And what happens is it overheats and it cuts off. So let's move over here into some shade. A bit more shade. I apologize if you hear the noise. Once again, it is the air. But I can't allow my phone to overheat. And so, like I was mentioning, these women, They'll leave you. And it's always, it's not because you're in jail. Well, what is it because? Because I could swear we've been together the last 6, 7 years, and now all of a sudden I'm in jail and we're not together. So if it's not jail, then what is it? But I quickly snap, I snap back from that quick. Lose them like you got them. My father passed away. That was a down moment for me. I didn't even know he was sick. I knew he had been to the hospital, but, I'm thinking that it's just something minor. They was like, yeah, he's okay. He's back out. My father lives in Cincinnati. Lived in Cincinnati. Shout out to the entire Ohio, man. Cincinnati, 513. That was a down time when I found out, because I didn't even find out until 2 or 3 days later. That was the time to where I had an eye awakening. I was at the law library one day. Actually, it was just a regular library. Newspapers are big in prison. People, you get your local newspaper, because where I was at, it was 3.5 hours away. So they got several, every town has their own little newspapers or whatever. I go to the Lexington Herald and I open up the newspaper. As soon as I opened the newspaper, it went directly to the obituary. This is crazy. I can't make this up. I guess I could, but who thinks of something like this to make up? It went directly to the obituary. I never really look at the obituary. I'm looking, the sports section. I read other parts of the newspaper, but this particular time, just know I wasn't trying to go to the obituary section. As soon as I looked down, I seen my whole name. I'm the third. My granddad had the same name. My dad had the exact same name. I have the exact same. And I see my name in the obituary. I can't believe it. For a few seconds, I forgot that I was the third. Imagine seeing your name, your exact name in the obituary. It just didn't say the third on it. And I snapped out of it. I seen that my grandfather had passed away. It was my dad's dad, as I mentioned. And I was like, I gotta get myself together, man. Got people passing away. Can't go to the funerals. Never get a chance to talk to them, tell them goodbye. You know that they were disappointed in you because you was in prison. That was more of an eye-opener for me. But I would say the one time that I shed tears in prison, and I've told this story, but I'll tell it again. It's not really a story, but my mom used to bring my daughter. She was young. She was maybe 4 years old. She was just getting used to seeing me again, because my mom would bring her every other weekend. The prison I was at. My mom had left me for dead, didn't hear anything. I gave her, signed my bond money over to her and everything, and she answered the phone, but after she got the bond money, she was just poof. Come to find out, she ended up having another dude living there. I sensed that anyway, because it was always an excuse why she wouldn't answer my calls. Well, I thought it was a bill collector. Man, I just called you 10 times straight, and it's a Sunday night at 10 p.m., and you ain't heard anything from me. You thought it was a bill collector. Some dumb, but definitely not plumb dumb. Sort of excuses that they hit you with when you're incarcerated. But at the same time, don't put yourself in that situation. You won't have to worry about these sort of excuses. But someone that you've been good to, they'll leave you for dead, man. And make it seem like it was your fault. Nevertheless, I always respected her, because she did allow my mother to bring, she never kept my daughter from me. Never kept her from my family, anything. My daughter starts to get used to me again. This point, I think I had been gone maybe year and a half, and I still had another year and a half to go. Close to a year, or slightly over a year rather, before I even went up for parole. That's just to have an opportunity to go home. And we was on visitation. I never will forget this. We was on visitation. And when they called, last cause time for the people to leave, my daughter's telling me, like I said, she's 3 years old, maybe 4. Come on, Daddy. It's time to go. She never done this before. They put little toys and stuff like that, out there to where you can interact and play with the kids and everything. And come on, Daddy, it's time to go. And I was trying to explain to her that I couldn't go with her. And she gets to crying. And I want my daddy, why not? And my mom kind of had to carry her out. And she's looking back at me, and I see the tears streaming down her face, and she's not understanding why her daddy can't go with her. It's the only time she ever did that. She never did it again afterwards. And that just let me know, like, just how much she was really, really missing me, because I had always been in her life. And that just crushed me. It crushed me. My selfishness caused this pain and hurt in the heart of this 3-4-year-old child. You imagine your child, where you going, Daddy? I want my daddy to come with me. Please, just, even if it's not jail, just you're in a situation where you can't go with them and the child doesn't understand. The child doesn't understand that not only can I not come with you today, I can't come with you next week or the following week or the following week or for the next probably 60, 70, 80 weeks. So yeah, that was the one time that I shed a few tears. Not right then and there. Probably in the shower. When we are out here running these streets and we're out here thinking that we're doing this and we're doing that, I'm doing it for my kids, man. Kids like stuff, don't get me wrong. They like the, whatever. Shoes, clothes, electronics, phones, all the stuff the kids like, but what they like more is your time. They need more is your time. They need your time. They need you to be there. And when we out there running these streets, man, we're selfish because we're not even thinking about our kids, but we tell ourselves that we doing it for our kids. It was a sad time for me, man. To this day, I still remember that. Like it was yesterday. So it was definitely my lowest moment that I had while incarcerated. Hey, KENZ. Well, this is definitely a shift in subjects. Hey, KENZ, are transgenders safe on prison yards? That's an emphatic yes. Transgenders on the prison yard are not only safe, but they're hot commodities. If that makes any sense to you. Now, when I say hot commodities, I'm not speaking, everybody's not into that. See, Fleece Johnson said that when he was incarcerated, 85-90% of the yard was gay. I wasn't there. I know that he was at Eddyville, Kentucky State Penitentiary, home of death row, maximum security in the 70s, 80s, early 90s. So I don't know about that high of a percentage, but I tend to believe that it was a high percentage. Everybody's not into that. I got over 11 years in. You never know what a person secretly likes or is into. But from what I was able to observe or whatever, which I mind my business, but from what I'm able to reflect back, and you know, tell you all about. The majority of the people are not into that, but you have some that are, and you have the individuals that you never thought that were, that are. Or you got the gorillas, like the big Rufuses, and the, you know, you got some prison gorillas, man. From what I've been able to observe, when the trans comes to the yard, the transgenders rather, and I'm not trying to be offensive to anybody, just simply answering a question. When the transgenders are on the yard, they look for the dudes that got that money. A lot of times they go for the white boys. Not to say that they don't deal with black dudes, but not to say that black dudes don't got no money. But see, a lot of the white dudes, their money's coming in on a regular basis. They get a lot of it so they can be well taken care of. And some of them just don't have no shame in their game. They're just open about it. Whereas the black dudes, they're going to try to keep it on the low, keep it on the hush-hush, which sometimes causes a conflict, because why are you trying to hide me? I want you to treat me like... And so I see that they tend to go and fool with the white dudes. Man, I get caught messing with nobody or trying to holler at somebody's boyfriend on the yard. Man, that's a wig split. That's a death wish. That's one of the cardinal sins. Better not threaten them. Better not say nothing silly to them, because you don't know who they affiliated with. But it's somebody that's taking care of them. When a transgender hits the yard, and that might not even really be a real, you know what I mean? Like just somebody that maybe dressed up as one, maybe was taking a few little hormone pills on the streets or whatever, they shave or whatever. But on the yard, some, I always say some, look at them as ladies. You got to imagine dudes been locked up 15, 20 years, 25 years, and you have this person that comes on the yard presenting themselves as an image of a woman. But you clearly know this is not a woman. Just because you switch your hips and you wear your hair long and you put, you know, whatever you put on your face, Kool-Aid on your lips or whatever, like, this does not make this person a woman. But you have some, once again, that will perceive this person as one. And they don't care. They've been locked up so long, they don't care. But I'm going to tell you what's so strange about this situation. The times that I've seen, it'd be the dudes that got the shortest time. 8 years, 10 years. They going home. And they getting down with the get down. So, to each his own. I don't have an opinion on it. I believe that people should be able to do what people want to do, as long as it's within the realms of, you know, the rules or whatever. Live your life. But they're definitely not unsafe on the yard. Not by a long shot. Dudes breaking their necks, man. I seen dudes damn near fight to the death over them. Told y'all about Big Tim, the print checker. Y'all familiar? Go check out the video. Big Tim. I'm so glad to be out of that environment. KENZ, how do CEOs make money in prison off inmates? Oh, that's easy, man. That's easy. A lot of times what happens is you got inmates that they study certain CEOs, right? And you got your ones like McCracken, they're not going to budge. They're not going to budge. I'm sorry. They're not going to budge. So you don't even bother trying to entice them to make some extra money. But you always have some. Because everybody, let me explain something to you. Everybody's not a jerk. Despite the prison wanting you to be a jerk or the jail wanting you to be a jerk, everybody just don't have that sort of nastiness in them, you know? Some people are just genuine good people. Get up under them. Get cool with them. They get to talking about their personal life or whatever, which they're not supposed to do. I'll tell you what, man. What would you do if you could make an extra $1,000 a week? That's how it all starts. But you have to have that level of comfortability to be able to approach them like that. Initially, they're probably going to tell you, no, I ain't fooling with you, boy. Because a lot of times dudes will try to get up under a woman now. Don't get me wrong, I've seen dudes get up under dudes just as well. You know, COs or whatever. Boy, I ain't fooling with you. And what I got to do anyway for this $1,000 a week? All you got to do, man, holler my, give you a phone number, holler my peoples on the outside. They're going to give you a bag. You bring that bag in to me. $1,000 a week. Just like clockwork. Yeah, whatever. A few weeks goes past. Bills mount up. Life is lifing. Emergency situations, whatever. Thinking about that $1,000 this inmate done told him about. So you saying all I gotta do is just call you? All you gotta do is just call my peoples. Bring the bag to me. Get you a green dot card. Green dot's where you can transfer funds from card to card. Cash App now, but you know, well, people are using Cash App now. Back then it was green dot. $1,000 every week. Basically how it goes. Do it once, get that 1,000. See how easy it was to do it again. Do it again. Do it again. And continuously do it over and over. That's how dudes come out of the pen with $200,000, $300,000, $50,000, $60,000. More than that. Dudes that know how to keep their mouths shut. Don't say nothing. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell your partner. Don't tell nobody that you the plug. Don't tell nobody how you getting it in. Don't exemplify. Don't show any sort of favoritism towards the CO. Don't even get caught talking to the CO. None of that. It rarely goes that way. It rarely goes that way, but I know that it has happened. Now that $1,000 a week might turn to $1,500, $2,000 a week. Just stacking that dough, stacking that money, stacking that money. You look up, you done that for a whole year and a half and ain't got caught up in nothing because you're quiet, you're not loud and obnoxious about what you do. See, loose lips break relationships. And you look up and you $250,000 up when you get out. CO's cool. They done made their money. But again, it doesn't always happen like that. It rarely happens like that because you'll look up and you'll see a CO getting walked off the yard by the state troopers. Inmate done got caught up or whatever, and they tell on the CO or whatever. So I wouldn't advise it, but that's how it starts. KENZ, how do inmates form sexual relationships with COs in prison? Well, it's kind of similar to what I just discussed. You around them because you see inmates pretty much run the yard on prison yard, on a prison yard. So you got your staff that are not COs, but you need inmates no matter what you do, whether you're in the kitchen. You got outside food workers that come in, KOL, Aramark. But you have inmates that pretty much run the kitchen. Same with the commissary. You got outside people that come in, the inmates. You got the administration building where it's all type of people, but you got inmates that's cleaning the administration building. You got just everything. You have teachers, instructors that come in, teach classes, GED, college classes, vocational classes. So you have all of these individuals that are seeing these inmates every day. You'll have some people, who would want an inmate? Those are the main people to watch. Why wouldn't you want an inmate? Now, when I say that, I mean like the people that have lustful eyes, wandering eyes. You seen these action figures, man. Dudes look like they stepped right off the cover of a magazine, man. Bodybuilding magazine. Your eyes work. Your boyfriend, your husband ain't treating you right. Constantly not coming home, ain't giving you attention anymore. It's not asking how your day went. And you got this inmate that's coming in your office every day, cleaning, dusting, taking the trash out. You start to do little special things for him, give him, little breakfast sandwiches or something like that you had left over, or you bring in donuts, and you get familiar, you get friendly, and now he's that comfort level. How's your day? How's your day been? What did you do over the weekend? It starts off very, very, but you're asking her these things that her significant other is not bothering to do. In my opinion, it's very easy to bag a staff member. That's what you call it, bag. Get a staff member. It's easy. So many of them. Now, it has to be the right situation. It has to be the right place at the right time. The nurse's statement, office. You go to I was really going to say the nurse's station. So whether it's the nurse's station or the nurse's office or medical, the whole office is women. You staying groomed, keeping your beard if you got a beard or your goatee, keep staying lined up, keeping your hair done, or like I said, you in the gym, you working out. They see you a nice guy. They done looked at your chart, looked at your charges. They're looking at your medical. They know you cool medical wise. If you do have a couple issues, ain't nothing major or anything. They done their research on you, but you don't know it initially. Next thing you know, y'all kicking it. And you gotta sneak and do it. And that's another thing, like, you can't tell anybody. Don't do it, period. But I'm just saying, if you are doing something like that, like when you tell people, other people get jealous. Because there's gonna be another individual that wants that same woman that you are already kicking it with. And when he can't get her, he's gonna get to spreading rumors and telling people about you all's situation. Very, very difficult to hide. But it has happened, man. One of the main ladies that worked at this particular prison worked in the administration building. She met an inmate. He was there for 5-6 years or whatever. He comes home, they get married, and to this day they still together. Been together 30-something years. So it definitely happens. Yo, KENZ, do inmates really need a knife in prison? Depends on where you go. See, I've only been to Kentucky prison, so I don't really like saying what a person should and shouldn't do, what they need, because I would imagine if you go somewhere that's dangerous and everybody else got them, or the majority of people have them, I would venture out to say that, yeah, you need some sort of protection. And it depends on what you're into. What situation? Do you have beef with somebody? Do you smoke with somebody? You owe somebody something? Are you indulging in some of the cardinal sins that you shouldn't be doing in prison? Somebody trying to extort you, somebody trying to take from you. It depends. But the thing about a knife in prison, you better have a heck of a hiding spot that you can get to at all times, because they shake you down at any given time, pat you down. Hey, you, come here. Turn around. Your arms out. Pat you down. Now, some people are so cold with it, they can have a knife or something, and they got it hidden on their body so cold to where they don't, gets through the pat down. But in prison, something can jump off at any given time, man. Especially that shower, going to the shower, man. You got people that have security. You got dudes that have security, so when they're in the shower, they got 2-3 of their homeboys right there by the shower, suited and booted, boots on, ready to go if anything jumps off, man. It's not like that in every prison. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, and I'm not telling you if you happen to be facing prison time, which I hope that nobody is. I'm not saying go in there and get a knife. Just be mindful. Understand your environment. Keep your head on a swivel. Don't do too much talking to people. Don't tell people your business. Tell nobody how much time you got. Just mind your business. Mind your business. If something comes to you, and it's just one of those situations to where you gotta fight and then go on and get it over with, man. Even if you get stomped out, they ain't not gonna stomp you out like that, because if you haven't done anything to anybody, sometimes people just running up on you just to see what your heart is about. But in the event you find yourself in a life-threatening situation, or you feel as though somebody's really, really trying to get you first or do you some harm, 2 + 2 is always going to equal 4. This is along the same lines of questioning. KENZ, do you have to join a gang or a clique in prison? Again, depends on where you at. You go to the feds somewhere, the feds will ship you anywhere. So I'm in Kentucky, you may be in Seattle, Oklahoma, DC. There's no telling where they're. Iowa, North Dakota. There's no telling where they'll send you at. So when you go, you're not going to find too many dudes from Kentucky there. If you're in a gang-populated situation, you're going to have to rock out with somebody. Now, from what I understand is, I know my partner was a rest in peace Skull, man. He's from Chicago. I've talked about him before. From what I understand, he's a vice lord. He's a general. He retired to the Nation of Islam. You know, he's a Muslim. But he often told me that you couldn't even be initiated in jail or prison as a vice lord. Represent the 5, man. He said you could be a neutron, meaning that you rock with them, but when they need you to do something like hold the knives or go do this, go bust somebody in the head or whatever, that's what you were required to do. And if it went up, if the deck went up, that's what he talked about in Cook County Jail all the time. The deck would go up. Shout out to Chicago. You got to get down with the get down, and if you don't, they're gonna cut you off, and they're gonna bust you up. But yeah, he would always tell me that you can't, and he always respected me, because so many people would try to be down. I never did. We was just cool. We was cool on the outside. Did our dirt on the outside, man. But we initially met in jail. So like I said, it depends on where you at. Because this is not TV, man. You can't just walk through prison just by yourself and never have any sort of clique or people that you hang with or that you talk to, or because now people gonna, damn, he ain't never with nobody. Strength in numbers. So shoot, man, we can take his commissary. They rob you in prison. They come to your cell, man, masked up. Sometimes I don't even wear a mask. 3 dudes and they all got knives. What you gonna do? Try to play hero? You willing to die for this commissary? Because you will. Think about that. You give it up once, now they're gonna keep coming back. So you gotta be prepared. Next time they come back, you got to have something to fend them off, because if you don't, they're gonna keep coming back robbing you, man. That's how dangerous prison gets, man. Especially in them feds. Dudes is in prison hungry, man. They ain't got nobody sending them no money, or even if they already rich, man, you gonna pay rent. You gonna pay rent to stay on my walk. Ain't your walk. But that's how they looking at it. You gonna pay rent to stay on this walk, man. Unless you known. Unless you with a clique. Just what it is, man. How much do KENZ, how much do inmates make in prison? And what are some of the jobs? I often speak about how you're required to work in prison in Kentucky. You're going to be working in the kitchen. probably make about $60 a month working in the kitchen. Gonna be working in landscaping, about $25, $27 a month. Landscaping consists of, just landscaping, planting flowers, cutting the grass. They got these big riding mowers. What else? Weeding. Go to school. If you don't have an actual job, you go to school. The average job on the prison yard probably pays about $26, $27 a month. That's you going to work every day. Working 8 hours a day. Some jobs is cool, laid back. You might not have to work the whole 8 hours. You might go in for about 6. All right, y'all can go. But you're still going to make $25, $26, $27 a month. It's called state pay. Every day on the same day, you get state pay. Commissary lines as long as you're going to be in line for a long time. But you get there early. Be one of the first to get there. But everybody's trying to be one of the first to get there. The people that really, really are dependent on that state pay. You can be a rec aide, janitor. That's a common job, being a janitor. But a lot of people, being that they make more money in the kitchen, they're going to go to, try to get in the kitchen. Now, they have, like, if you're at a camp and it's a lower level camp, minimum, you can go out in the community and work. They may have 15, 20 jobs to where you can go out in the community, maybe a little more. Have contracts with these different companies or whatever. So if you get one of those jobs, now you're going to make about $120, $130 a month. A lot of people are trying to get those jobs. Now imagine, not everybody, but some people won't work on the streets for $100 a day, but they go to penitentiary and break their neck to make $100 a month. Make it make sense. A lot of people won't work on the streets for $12, $13, $15 an hour. $100 a day, $110, $120 a day. But to break their necks in the penitentiary to get these outside jobs to make $120, $130 a month. It's crazy, man. But that's just what it is. Now, you do have special jobs on the yard to where they'll call special projects. That's what they call them here. So let's just say they're going to be building a building. They need somebody to come in that knows how to, build. Knows how to use that what's it called? What's it called? Y'all jump in the comment section. Knows how to use that. What's that thing that you use to put the mortar on with a trowel? I think that's what it's called. Slap that building up. Put the little ruler thing on there and make sure everything's level. And they can do it with speed. Somebody drive the backhoe. Somebody knows how to, somewhat know something about plumbing, electrical work, but it has to be up to code. Somebody knows how to paint. They call that special projects. For the next 3 months, 4 months, you might make $350, $400 a month, $250, $275. Then the next time they have something like that, maybe a month, maybe 2 months, then they special projects, you come in, and so you can make some money in prison. There's one dude I'm gonna speak upon before I end here, and I don't want to say his name, but he had done 23 years, I want to say, been locked up for 23 years. Originally, when he came in, he had a life sentence. He got it commuted to 60 years. And I think they ended up knocking it down to 50 or 45 or something like that. But nevertheless, he had a 23-year sentence. They finally let him go. Finally let him go after 23 years. He was about 50 years old. 51, 52. He had one of those type of jobs. So if your charge is considered violent, which he was in there for murking somebody, unaliving somebody would be the more appropriate thing to say. Meaning that any job he had, he got his full state pay. See, the price, not the prices, but the amounts I'm giving you all is in 2000 and early 2000s, they came through and they started cutting your state pay in half. So if you were supposed to make 100 a month, you would make 50 a month, but they would give you 4 days a month good time off of your sentence. But if it was a violent charge, such as this individual, Moses, what you gonna call him Moses? You didn't get the 4 days a month, but you got your full state pay. So every time he got one of those jobs, like working in PI, which is prison industries, different places, like the prison industries here, they used to make office equipment for the state workers. When I say office equipment, office furniture rather. And then the inmates would go, they had a moving crew, and they would go and set it up. Take the old furniture out, bring the new furniture in. You had a job like that, or like I said, working in PI where you did the license plate, or you make soap, or you make mattresses or whatever. You got the inmates to do it. So you don't got to pay anybody $20 an hour to do it or more. You got an inmate. And so this inmate, such as Moses, he would make like $300 a month, $350, $400 a month. He was a hard worker. Everywhere he went, they always kept him. They liked him around because he worked hard. Had people on the outside sending him money just as well. He was well liked and he was well supported. When that man got out of prison, I don't know exactly what he had, but what I was told from somebody that's in the administration that seen the check or whatever that they cut you, they had well over $40,000 that he had saved up. Now I understand that 23 years versus $43,000, $44,000, $45,000, I'd rather have my freedom. But I guess he seen one day, he had a vision. I'm gonna go home one day, someday. He was deeply into the Bible. He was a totally changed man. Didn't hang with nobody, worked out, but he was well respected, and you knew not to try him, man. Oh, what's so crazy? He wasn't even 5'11". But at Real KENZ TV, he was 5'11". Dark-skinned dude, had long locks. Dude was just a solid dude, man. Was preparing for the future, knowing that when he came home, he's gonna have to get him a car. Once he got his license, he's gonna have to get him a place, and he was able to do all of those things. Between saving the money that people would send him, because he had a woman that rode every step with him. She never missed a beat for 23 years. They didn't make it when he got out. They decided to go their separate ways, but they're still friends to this day, from what I know. She made sure he was straight. He had family that was sending him money. And at $350, $400 that he was making every month, he would go to the commissary, but he wouldn't spend crazy. You might see him go to the commissary and spend $25, $30 a week. The rest of it was being saved. Got out of prison with $40-something thousand, man. Landed directly on his feet. Had all type of trades, skills that he had learned. So he was good when he came home. Hopefully you all enjoyed Prison 101. Some people are fascinated with prison, what goes on. Again, to each his own. I'm going to do this from time to time. Come back with these prison stories, man. Prison experiences. There's nothing cool about prison. But life does exist in prison, if you can call that living. Things go on in prison that you would never even remotely imagine. Out here in this beautiful thing called the free world. Real KENZ TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Be sure to hit that post notification. Anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Now I got to get to work. Great thing about being able to work out here, I don't just make $25, $27 per month. Real KENZ TV.